And this is Tyler. And together we make Bacon Decker. Welcome back to this week's podcast.
Working on the intro together, slowly but surely. We get the podcast set up and ready to go, and then the first thing we try to think about is who's going to do the intro. We try to switch it back and forth, and both of us help the other one set it up. Yeah. And then when we get put on the spot, we cannot get the intro down. But if you like the intro, let us know. If you just want us to roll into the conversation, also let us know. You know, we're good with whatever. But welcome back to this week's podcast, and we're going to jump into William's interesting story this week as far as the house situation goes. You said you've got some good news.
Yeah, or at least hopefully good news. So we got a call last week, towards the end of the week, and the house that we've been looking to buy, the owner verbally agreed to our deal.
Sweet.
So we're going to hopefully get that contract together and signed so we can move forward with the process here sometime this week. Hopefully tomorrow is what we were told, or Tuesday for those of you that are not on the same day as us.
Yeah, we film when we can. So this is something I didn't have to deal with when getting a house.
Yeah.
I bought my house from my grandparents. So when we had to settle on the contract or whatever, it's like, hey, you guys got to show up to this lawyer's office. We got to sign these papers, and then it's all taken care of. And whereas you got to deal with a complete stranger that's trying to get as much money as possible. Whereas my grandparents just, we did a sum amount that was easy for me to make payments on, which it's a remodel house, so it's nothing crazy nice, but it's amazing to me. Growing up in this house,
man.
Yeah, and you'll get that vibe. I'm sure you had that vibe when you've had the apartment, but it's something different once you own a piece of the world. Like this is
piece
my
of
little
land is mine.
Yeah, this land is mine. This house is mine. The bathroom, the kitchen, the bedroom. You make it what you want it to. Which you're going into it already engaged, but I got it as a single person, and it's like, what am I going to do with all the space? Which now it seems like we don't have enough space, but which we've got plenty of space down here for the. I'm very lucky that it worked out the way it did.
Yeah.
Because getting this house was perfect for the YouTube stuff. I couldn't imagine trying to find a house that had enough room to do the podcast stuff, the Pokemon stuff for my channel, like any of that.
Yeah.
Instead of it all being together like it was when we first started, we've got enough room to have all these different sets.
And spread out.
But that's awesome, man. I'm super happy for you as far as getting the house. Like I know as far as stress-wise, you're kind of in the boat that I was before I got married, that now you've got, on top of it, you got a house as well, and plus coming back from the military, you haven't been here like I have. That's kind of like year to year. So I can't imagine as far as trying to balance it all.
Yeah, I mean, I've had a lot of because it's a stressful time of year anyway. It's Christmas time. Work stressful and so on and so forth. But yeah, worried about getting married here come next year, and then also buying a house and. Coming back from the military, it's like, well, I got to set a whole life up for myself. And
you've had all that time to think about it, too.
Yeah, so. And that's the worst, I think, because, you had this idea when you were in, and now all of that's changed because now you're out, and, you had to adapt to what was going on, because I tell you, man, I didn't think, when I first thought, I'm going to get out of the military, I never thought I was going to work at UPS, and I even started going to school to be, an EMT. You guys, those of you who are longtime listeners know that. But this opportunity fell, kind of in my lap, and I would have been stupid to say no to it. So, but and it also gives me the means to, buy this house at such a young age. It's a over 1,700 square foot house. Which is good for a starter.
That's
home.
Awesome. Yeah.
So
I think this one's 1,200. Which it's 2-story, so
does that count the basement?
I'm not sure, to be honest with you. I because when we signed all the papers and everything, it was my grandparents, so I didn't have like a realtor or anybody trying to explain to me what the house was. I've lived here all my life.
You weren't worried about it.
they're like, well, this is how many square feet you've got. Now that never came up, so now it's kind of like I'm learning this as we remodel the house. Or like, well, how much room do you have? How much? Like when we did the roof, it was 1,200 square feet. Okay. So I think the overall house is 1,200 square feet, but I don't know if that's doubled because of the
The basement.
So
It
technically
might
we've
be.
got, which it's an unfinished basement. It's not like a
It's not
livable.
livable. Yeah.
As on paper, it's not livable, but I've lived down here many years.
Yeah, growing up in high school, right?
Man, it was amazing. Like, other than in the mornings, I would stay up late at night playing games and whatnot. In the mornings, my bedroom was under the kitchen. My grandparents would wake up early and they'd be in the kitchen making breakfast.
Breakfast, coffee.
Yeah, there was no like sleeping in. Like I just went to bed 2 hours ago and it's just dum 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 all above me. I'm like, all right, I'm up. I guess I'll get up.
When I moved in here, with you, it was like
Yeah.
I knew when you were leaving for work in the morning, and
I tried to be as gentle as I could, and then it's funny because Gabby didn't care, so I was trying to be careful. Just because I was like, I know what it's like to live down there. But Gabby, she's like, this is my house. I don't care. So you would mention like I could hear you get up, but then like I could definitely tell when Gabby got up because she just walks through the house like normal. Whereas I know which boards are going to creak more.
Yeah.
So I'm like, no, I don't want to step here. Just kind of being a little bit quieter.
But it's not like I was, needing to sleep in or anything. Anyway,
No, we just had that redheaded stepchild downstairs.
Yeah, the child you keep in the basement.
Which, I mean, you didn't, we've talked about it in the past, but you didn't really even stay down here that much after you met Krista. It turned into like, well, his stuff's here. That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
We're just a storage unit.
I'd come here and hang out for a little bit, then I'd come back and sleep, and then
Of course, you almost got shot that one night because you didn't tell Gabby. Of course, I'm sound asleep. I had just fallen asleep, so that's when I'm dead asleep. So she heard you come in and you didn't answer the text at first, and I was completely out because, like I said, I just went to bed, and she was like, "What? Somebody's in the house." I'm like, "What?" Any other time if I had heard it, I'd been like freaking out, but because I was asleep, it's like, ain't nobody in this house.
Who's gonna stop in this house
What do they
on
want?
185? Yeah. Off this highway over here.
Did we make plans? Who's here? That's what I was thinking when I woke up.
Yeah, I swear. That's how it is. I'll be getting ready to go to bed, and I'm like, "Did you lock the door?" We live off 31, so it's like, and we live. There's businesses and stuff around.
Of course, in town in general is different.
Yeah, so I'm thinking like, well, Krista had somebody steal her work tripod out of her car, so
somebody's around.
Yeah, I was like, let me go lock this and make sure it's locked.
Yeah, we do the same thing. It's like as soon as we get in bed, you're like, did you lock the door? I think I did. I automatically have to get up.
Yeah.
Like, I think I did. Don't
sleep.
Work for me.
Yeah, I won't sleep if it's not.
Trying to think, as far as in town, like growing up as a kid, living with Mom, we lived in trailer parks, so there was not a night you didn't lock your door. I mean, hell, we locked our door just when we were at home.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't have an unlocked door and the door open, whereas at my dad's house, I don't know if he ever locked his door growing up. He's just like, what are they going to take? It's like, ain't nobody going to come in here. And I did not take that, that mentality. I was like, no, I'm locking my door. I have stuff in here that if I come home to an empty house and somebody just ransacked my house,
Yeah.
I'm going to go ballistic. Which you left the door unlocked the night we did Jenga. You left the door open, like cracked open. It wasn't shut all the way. So from that night,
kitchen?
Yeah, from that night until
Wait,
yesterday.
Are you talking Jenga like we just did?
Yeah. So me being the paranoid, I seen the door when I took the trash out. I was like, oh, the door was like cracked open. It's like, I guess we didn't shut it all the way. So I checked the entire house because I was like, I'm like you. I can't sleep if knowing that maybe something's going on.
And that door, it doesn't fit the.
Yeah,
the door
it's older, so it's the door has swelled out a little bit, so it doesn't shut the best.
Yeah, I think that's why I always, because that's the second time I've done that.
Yeah, but it's yeah. So I was like, maybe William left it open, but maybe somebody came in after. So I didn't check the basement. That's my biggest fear is like to come downstairs and like the door been unlocked, and then I come downstairs and all my equipment's gone.
Yeah,
and I'm gonna lose my shit.
I'm gonna start manhunt.
Yeah, I'm gonna start figuring out the tracks that are left in the driveway.
I'm gonna start tasting the dirt that he left on it from his shoes.
Yeah, I'm gonna start pulling fingerprints before I even call the cops. I'm like, here's the evidence. This is what y'all need to do to find this guy.
Yeah, I think what really freaks me out about living in town is just you can hear everything outside.
Yeah, see, we live on 185, so we got sirens all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But that's it. When we were kids growing up in the trailer park, man, you can hear everything. Of course, it's trailer walls too.
Yeah.
So you can,
They're
if
thin.
they're fighting next door, you're fighting. No, they're like, oh, that sounds bad. Ooh, she's not happy.
Yeah.
He's upset.
Ooh, that was a low blow.
Yeah, you hear the door slam. You're like, well, she's going outside to smoke.
Dang, dude. Yeah.
Here, I couldn't imagine living back in town now since I've lived out of town so long that even going on vacation and stuff. When we went on our honeymoon, the condos were separate, but we had to go in a public door, and then there was 2 condo doors. So there was like 1211 and 1212 next to each other. So we had to push the key card for the first door, and then both of us had different codes for the 2 rooms. But you could hear them coming and going, and that was like I could hear them leaving, which woke me up here and there. But other than that, it wasn't too bad. Of course, we were on the 11th floor, so we couldn't hear anything down below.
Yeah.
But in town, like the sirens don't get me since living out here. But if I heard somebody walking outside or something, yeah, I just would not be okay with it.
You know, we got a dog too, so sometimes she'll growl in the middle of the night. She'll growl at just about anything, but like she'll sit there and that'll freak you out, dude.
Yeah. Well, we had a boxer for a little bit, and then we ended up giving her away because we weren't home enough. But in the short term of the story, which is
there's a lot more to it.
Yeah. But anyway, she would just randomly look at the door. You're like, did you hear something? Or should I be aware? And then you've seen videos of like the dogs that just kind of look in their house, random places, like they're looking at somebody, and like there's nobody there. You're home alone. It's scary.
Just give you chills up and down your arm and your neck and all that.
What are you looking at? Should I be worried? Or
Do I need to get the Glock?
Let me know. If you start barking, then I'm gonna get the gun.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. One time, so Krista had to go out on a call in the middle of the night. Somebody had, I guess, got murdered or shot or something. So she had to go cover the story, and so I'm laying in bed by myself, and Luna's laying there next to me, and all of a sudden she stands up, and and I was like, oh my gosh.
You're home? Or...
I was like, Krista, nothing. I was like, oh jeez. Grab the gun, open the bedroom door, scoping it out. There's nothing. The door was locked and everything, and I opened it and I looked outside. Maybe Krista was walking in the hallway or something. That's what she heard, but.
Which I just seen it was just a news or like a news post. Some girl was doing like a TikTok dance, and all of a sudden the guy broke into her house while she was trying to do the TikTok.
Yeah.
And it was some guy that was like outside of her apartment, like watching her, and it turned like he just broke into, like climbed up, I think, her side window or whatever to get into her apartment. So she like ran out of her apartment, which was all on video or whatever. But some of you guys may know what I'm talking about. But like that's the kind of like. You never know. I mean, he just broke in because I guess he was either stalking her or he was just scoping the place out. I'm not sure what turned out of the situation, but I mean, it's just scary because she was by herself, I believe.
Yeah.
So.
And you said he climbed up to the window?
Yeah, she was on the 2nd floor, I believe, of the apartment complex.
Oh my god.
So he come
That's
up.
dedication too.
That's too much effort for me. You won't see me climbing up any side of the building to get anywhere.
Oh man, yeah, I don't know about that, man.
As far as my life goes this time around, I really haven't done anything. Like work's been super slow.
Yeah.
Nobody's buying Pepsi right now or drinks in general. Christmas week will be busy for us, but right now we're kind of slowing down, and then we'll pick up for Christmas, and then January is awful because what's the first New Year's resolution you think of that everybody does?
Get sober.
That's okay. Your New Year's resolutions are different than what I've heard. I'm thinking of losing weight. Like that's the first one everybody says.
Stop drinking Pepsi?
So they quit sodas. They stop drinking sodas. So the first 2 months normally it's a lot slower in general because there's not a lot of holidays, but also everybody's trying to do healthier choices. So they start going to the gym.
Martin Luther King with Pepsi. No Mountain Dew or anything.
But and then we'll pick up in March and kind of start gradually getting busier and busier for the summer. But right now, it's been 8-hour shifts and then a couple 9-hour shifts. But for the most part, it's just cleaning shelves and doing little stuff to make the stores look a little bit better. And then house-wise, we're kind of on hold just because it's a holiday. It's trying to get everything handled right now is difficult because everybody's doing stuff for their families, or they're traveling, or they're not going to be working right now. So of course, we're pinched more than we normally are because you got Christmas stuff, you've got to buy gifts, and you've got to go to get-togethers and whatnot.
Yeah.
So trying to do a remodel right now has kind of been put on hold. But hopefully, 2021, we're hoping to get the house all in livable situations. Like there's the remodel room, which is where we're working on everything. And once we get it done, we'll move that stuff into that room, and then we'll start a new one. And we're hoping next year we can do a room almost every other month, and get the most of the house done. The bathroom and the kitchen are going to be more expensive to remodel.
Yeah, but there's a lot to do in there.
Yeah. And I think we're going to keep the bathroom the same size because it's just a starter home. We talked about moving the bathroom, making it wider, and making the laundry room smaller because they're back to each other. Instead of having a laundry room, we just have a laundry closet. But if we don't decide to stay here 5-10 years, what's the point in remodeling the bathroom if we just move out in sell the house in 5 years?
The thing is,
resale value. It would mean more, but at the same time,
because then what you could do is you could make the half bath you have into a full bath.
Yeah,
with that extra space.
Yeah, we could.
All that plumbing's right there, ready. So.
Yeah, it wouldn't be too crazy, but we're just wanting something nicer. That it's dated. It's an older house. It's built in '78, so I think the shower. Honestly, it's the shower that was in here at '78. It's dated, so we'd like to get more up to date shower. And just feel more at home, make it more our home.
More modern, kind of, maybe.
I feel like the basement's taken care of more than as far as upstairs. Cause, we both work, and so I was going to explain this when you were talking about the house before, but be prepared when you get a house. You don't realize how many things you're responsible for until you have, it's all on you. I don't know if you got any trees around your house, but you're going to have to clean gutters. You're going to get up and clean gutters.
Yeah.
We don't have any trees, thank God. But it still seems like something gets in my gutter somehow from the neighbor's trees or something. I can't get on the roof. I'm too heavy. I just don't trust myself to get on the roof. So my dad helps me out, but he lives across the street. So he comes and cleans them out real quick if I need something, if it's like overflowing or something.
Yeah.
My fridge went out. That was like a big thing. I think we talked about it last podcast.
I think so.
So we got a new fridge, but that's something that just happened 2 weeks after we got married. So it's like, wow, this is not a good time. We just got back from honeymoon, we're pinched. And so the fridge goes out, and then my neighbor's dog gets out. And then I have to get up at 8 o'clock in the morning to help this dog get out of the road and get it back in their house. There's just things that you don't realize you're going to be responsible for or have to deal with until you have a house. Like somebody coming up to your door knocking and well, you got a minute to talk about this or that? No, I'm just sleeping. Leave me alone. Our living room's loud enough when you're playing the TV. When somebody knocks on the door, they can hear the TV.
Yeah.
So most of the time, they always knock when I'm watching Good Mythical Morning. Every time. I'm there's no telling what it sounds like I'm watching because it's just two guys on a YouTube channel doing crazy stuff.
You got an episode of Link where he's eating something gross and gagging.
Yeah. I'm going to just leave this on the doorstep.
Oh, man. Yeah. Thank God my dad is, I wouldn't call him a handyman, but he's good around the house, And I picked up on a few things growing up. When I worked in the S4, the logistics shop, while I was in CLR 37, we were also responsible for the building maintenance and stuff. So anything that we didn't have to call an actual maintenance crew to fix, we had to fix. So if a lights were out, I went and checked it before we had to call somebody.
Right.
I knew how to check a breaker, how to tell what outlet goes to where, and all that stuff. I had to climb up into it's not an attic. Basically just the rafters and where all the ductwork and stuff is, because it's a work building. It's not like a house. But I had to climb up into there and over into a room that was locked to unlock it. I had to... we've had projects that were thrown onto our shop where we had create wood things for the unit, and I had stain and
so you got a
paint
little
on it, all kinds of a whole lot of handyman stuff, like not a whole lot, but a little bit here and there, and I've helped you with like the dishwasher. And
yeah. So that's with the remodel, we've done most of the work except for mudding the walls. We've done the rest of the work. That's the only thing we paid for out of somebody else doing it. It's just because I didn't want to take the time to do the mudding.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very tedious job, and you want to make sure you do it right. Otherwise, you have to redo it all over. So we paid for somebody to do that, but hanging drywall, like my dad was like, we can do that. So we ripped all the drywall out and ripped the insulation out and you helped that day with the insulation.
And then your dad and you hung up the drywall.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's stuff you learn, and it's thankful. Like, your dad's know more than you realize as far as, like...
Like, you realize, and this is what I was telling Chris the other day, I was like, man, I thought my dad knew all this stuff. No, he just winged it when he was my age and figured it out.
Yeah, well, this works, this does not work, don't do that.
I was like, adulthood's nothing more than...
I don't think you need to call your dad to help with the gutters. That wouldn't be the choice. Like, my dad was all right, but I don't know if you should have your dad up on the roof anymore.
Yeah, my dad probably would tell me no.
It's probably not his favorite thing to do. He probably still does it, though. He probably just says out of instinct.
I know he'll get up there, but he gets vertigo from what he's told me.
Yeah, I would too after that. I think I've been here before.
For those of you that don't know, my dad... when I was younger, he was...
Yeah, you laugh at it now, but back then it was serious.
It was traumatizing.
Yeah.
So my dad got up on the roof to fix some shingles. We just got back from vacation, and he hopped up on the roof because we had some shingles that got blown loose from a storm that came through. And he was up there fixing it, and he went to get down, and we had a 2-story house. He was on the top roof, and then we had a porch roof. He had the ladder on the porch roof, which... In hindsight, I mean, it's not a good idea.
Right, because that could go at any time, too.
Yeah, but how else were you going to get up there?
Yeah.
So...
I think they make certain ladders to do it, but I'm not sure. I think they make tools that grip better as far as it doesn't just slide off.
But so he gets up there, or he's coming down, and he misses the ladder, and he comes down, falls onto the porch roof, and then rolls off and falls onto the sidewalk. That is below there, and then the ladder fell on top of him, and he...
I didn't know that. I didn't know the ladder fell on top of him.
Yeah, talk about adding insult to injury. So he walked out of there with quite the bit of injuries. I know a fractured back, broken ribs, fractured heel, fractured skull.
I just don't sound... I don't know how you can hurt that much to fall off a roof, but until you actually, I guess, go through it. But that sounds like so much to just... Boom, roll off, boom. Like, it's crazy. I guess from where he braced himself probably is what caused those fractures in the head. Like,
I couldn't tell you, but yeah, he had to get life flighted. They landed the helicopter in the church parking lot.
That's a hefty
I wasn't
deal.
even there.
Oh, you weren't?
No, I was at my friend's house down the road, and
you just got the call, huh?
Yeah, I got the call. My friend who lived next door to my house, he and his aunt came and were like, "Hey, your dad just fell off the roof," and I was like, "What?
What do you want me to do about it?"
Like, what do you mean? And of course, by the time I got to the house, they had already grabbed him up, and
that's crazy that he hit the sidewalk too, because the way that your house was set up, you had the sidewalk, which was pretty narrow, and then you had grass on both sides, didn't you?
Well, I had grass, and then the flower bed was on the other side.
So like he also hit the he
was lucky his head hit the grass.
Oh, okay.
But the rest of them hit the sidewalk.
Yeah, probably would have killed him if he hit his head on the concrete.
Or at least that's what I think. Is he hit his head on the grass and everything else? He'd tell a story,
Yeah, crazy situation.
But yeah, so that was a pretty crazy thing. That's where the whole my dad doesn't get up on the roof to fix the gutter.
Yeah. I just actually when they were replacing my roof, putting the new roof on, one of the guys fell off the roof. It started to rain that morning, and
it's a tin roof.
Yeah, I put tin roof on. So as soon as you add water to it and a slope, it pretty much done. So he fell off the front of the house, thank God. So it's like 8 feet roughly. It's not.
I think I could probably jump and touch your gutters.
Yeah, so it's not too bad. 8-9 foot drop, and it's grass. So he just fell off. He was okay, but I get home, they're like, "Oh, he fell off."
What? Is he okay?
Yeah, if you fall off the backside of the house, you're going to be hurting bad,
you're in the
if not
hospital.
dead.
At the very least.
It's a 20-foot. I would honestly guess 20-foot just because it's on a hill. So the front of the house is 9 foot roughly from the top. It's got to be 20 foot at least.
At the back.
Yeah. And man, my grandfather would get up there and clean the gutters out and would hang over the edge and scoop the gutters out while we're like swimming in the pool. And like now looking back on it, like, there ain't no way I could do that. I'd get sick by the time I got to the edge.
Gary's a wild man.
Yeah.
He's a wild man.
Which he has always been hurt working on the house. Like he got stung by wasps. He's got attacked by all kinds of other like rodents and like I want to say skunk or possum situation. I don't know the details, but I mean it's always been something with him as far as dealing with the house. So you get prepared to take care of your house, I guess is the best way to end that snippet.
And the good thing is our backyard's fenced in. So little critters, I don't think we have to worry about getting in.
That's my whole yard's open, so like there could be anything in my yard at times. Which
like
I haven't mentioned this. Yeah, yeah, I haven't mentioned this on the podcast. I don't believe, but like as soon as my grandparents moved out, it's like this area kind of got a little bit crazier because like within me and Gabby were together, but we're not married. We weren't married. But I pull out of my driveway, and as I turn and I see the little hillside, there's some dude passed out, face down on the side of the road. My instinct is he's dead. I don't know how long he's been there. I drive by, he doesn't move. I mean, he's 8-10 feet from the road. So, I mean, he's close enough that he could have fell out of a vehicle, could have been thrown out of a vehicle. My mind's thinking he's dead, somebody killed him, they ditched his body right here, and it's
don't
over.
touch him.
Yeah. So I drive back through, and he doesn't move again. Now, I'm like, any kind of sign of movement, I would have probably just checked on him, but he wasn't moving. So I call 911, and I'm like, there's a dude passed out on 185. He's face down. He's not moving. And they're like, well, does he seem like he's breathing? I'm like, I'm not checking him. I'm sorry. I don't know how long he's been here. If I'd seen him fall, I would have went up and helped. Mm-hmm. But this is 5 a.m. I don't know if he's been here for 10 minutes or he's been here for 6 hours. You know, like it could have been at any point in time. If he's been there for that long, I don't want to go up. What if he's on something, you know, like some kind of drugs or messed up or he's drunk? I just, if I woke up on the side of the road and somebody's tapping me on the shoulder, I'm going to probably freak out. So I just waited for them to get there. And as soon as the ambulance rolls up with the lights on, he gets up. I'm like, thank God he's not dead. Like I said, as long as he's not dead, I don't care. Like I just called him to make sure he's okay. And he was a kid. I would probably guess 17. If I had to guess, 16, 17. He told the cops he was at a party and he got in a car with people that were drinking and he wanted to walk instead. So he got out of the car and started walking. You don't walk on 185. But he was probably intoxicated too, so he got out and started walking, or maybe they kicked him out. Who knows? But that's what he told the cops. So cops took him either to jail or to his house, or who knows. It was a sheriff, so I don't know what the protocol there is. But yeah, that was... So Gabby's like, well, go check on him. I said, I'm not going to check on him. I don't know how long he's been there. Like I'm not getting stabbed or shot. I mean,
what if I roll him over and he's dead, and now my fingerprints are on the body?
Yeah. Here I am calling at 5 a.m. to report it. Now I'll wait and see what the ambulance does. But like I said, he got up as soon as it got there. I mean, he just dumb kid. I mean, I never got into situations where I was drunk out and about growing up. Thank God, because I ain't no telling what kind of situations I could have ended up in. But if I was drinking, I was usually at home. I didn't go out and about to party.
Yeah, I found a drunk Marine once out in the backyard of our barracks, and one of the other people that lived in the barracks was like, "Hey, you got this kid who's passed out here," and I was like, "Oh crap," and so I walk out there, and I mean he's just like on his back. So in the back of our barracks there's like a little hill.
He wasn't in the fetal position like you were the Bachelor of Night?
No. He was like flat on his back, just knocked. And I was like, well, and I walked up to him and I kind of like tapped his face a little bit. Hey, nothing. I put my finger on his nose. He's breathing. I was like, all right. So I just picked him up, threw him on my shoulder, and took him inside and laid him on one of the couches in the common area so I could keep an eye on him, make sure he didn't throw up, laid him on the side and stuff. But
right.
I was like, what? This is just a dumb kid, but thank God,
Yeah.
Because what I guarantee happened was he was so drunk, he was trying to come down that little hill there and slip, and
that's where he stayed.
Yeah.
I've
Because
told
I
y'all
fell down that, sober. So
I've told y'all every time we've ever been drinking, leave me where I land. If I land somewhere, just leave me there. I mean, I deserve it, honestly. If I'm so drunk I can't make it to a bed or somewhere to sleep, let me sleep on the floor. I'll sleep it off. I mean, obviously outside's not a good thing because, I mean, you get sick, something could happen. But inside, man, just wherever they land, they land. So,
just, give them a blanket and
yeah.
leave them there.
I never even got blankets. I either got told to get up or they just left me and they're like, he'll be all right. He'll get up eventually. Like, I never got any kind of comfort other than there was one night you and Gabby both were here and I was sick. I got sick.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
that was the first time I think we ever drank together.
Yeah, after you got back. But it wasn't like a normal, I'm drunk, I threw up.
Yeah,
I threw up outside from being drunk. And then I come back inside and I just got even more sick. So by the end of the night, I was done. I just woke up the next morning. I was like, I still felt. That was the worst I ever felt after getting up from a hangover or anything like that. That was definitely the worst drunken situation. Any other time I've been, they say I'm fun. I let loose and I have fun. And I don't care what I do. But
I like fun.
Yeah. I mean, I just act stupid, but in not harmful ways. Whereas, some people get drunk and they make a fool of themselves, so they break stuff and whatnot. I've never been that person to damage property. I
know some people who would do that. Like, I never got it on base. Marines drink. They drink a lot.
Yeah.
So, on base, you wake up or you come outside, like when I smoked, and I'll go down to the smoke pit in the mornings on the weekends, and you just see broken glass everywhere. Like, who's coming out here drinking and just throwing glass bottles?
Spiking their bottles.
Like, come on, dude. Somebody's got to clean this up, and it's not the duty. It's got to be all of us when field day comes around.
Yeah, I don't know why you got to break your bottle. And it's like, I finished this beer, smash.
There's a trash can right there. Right there.
Yeah, I mean, even when we would go to the bars, I always seemed to find the trash can. Like, I did almost knock the table over one time. But it's because I stood up, and the tables were just the bar stool tables.
Oh, the ones that are super tall and skinny.
Well, I'm a big guy, so as soon as I stood up and hit the table, the whole table wobbled. Yeah, so it wobbled back and forth. I was like, whoa, 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 which made it worse because then I hit one of them almost. Yeah. Yeah, that was.
Man.
But I never was like, I'm just going to go to the trash can or even just all of a sudden just launch a beer bottle. That was never my idea of fun.
Yeah, I never got that. I still don't get that. I don't know why people do that.
Probably have problems, honestly. There's probably something else, some pent-up aggression for something else.
They got some daddy issues.
Probably.
Oh, dude.
Well, we took kind of a weird turn. We went from buying a house to drunken stupidness. So. But honestly, like I said, this week and the past couple of weeks, we did the Jenga. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed the Jenga.
Yeah.
We had fun filming it. It wasn't a challenge. It wasn't a food taste test or anything, but it was, I guess it was a taste test.
Of sorts.
I can't believe, if you haven't seen it by now, I'm not going to spoil who lost, but the outcome of the punishment wasn't as bad as I expected compared to some of the sauces we had to try.
Yeah.
I was expecting
on their own.
Yeah. Which after watching the video and editing the video, I realized that you got all your sauces you brought other than French dressing. You brought the garlic aioli and the horseradish sauce. If you hadn't brought both of those, I'm curious what you would have got if we just used what was here at my house.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got pretty easy sauces other than I got hot sauce.
The sriracha, dude. And the sriracha about threw me for a loop, dude.
If we ever do it, which we, not if, but when we do it again, round 2 or whatever, sriracha is still going to be the one I'm hesitant for because you're saying it's hot. Because the Louisiana hot sauce was not bad at all. Yeah. Like, since then, I'm like, maybe I like hot sauce. Maybe I'm okay with hot sauce.
Well, I think, because I watch Hot Ones too, so then they do like the little Scoville stuff and all that. And in their like original season, they had like normal hot sauce, which I think it might have been Louisiana, or it was like.
People swear up and down it's like the best one to get.
Yeah, apparently Louisiana is the best. But then like sriracha was hotter than that normal hot sauce. I think Sriracha's like 1,700 on the Scoville scale or something.
One thing I thought about the Ortega, me taking the shot of the Ortega, it honestly was just like my the best way I can describe Ortega by a spoonful is spicy ketchup. It's got spices in it, but it's got that tomatoey vibe still.
It's honestly, it's like if you took a whole bunch of like mild Taco Bell sauce and just squeezed it into a spoon and ate it.
Yeah, we should do.
Because it's more sour than it is spicy.
Idea. A Jenga of condiments from restaurants. That would be cool if we did like a.
Like a sweet and sour and
or even you got things like Zax sauce, or you could get fire sauce from Taco Bell or something.
Or the Diablo sauce.
Oh, do they have the Diablo still?
The black one?
I didn't know if they still had the Diablo.
I'm pretty sure.
Which they gave us fire by accident. I don't know. Last time we went, it's been a while, but they gave us fire or they gave us hot instead of mild. Yeah. We get mild, just because we think the mild tastes pretty good.
Yeah.
Like it's just like a all around good taco sauce. But they gave us hot instead. She's like, "Well, you're not gonna eat that." I was like, "Well, I'll try it." I tried it. It's like it does taste completely different. It's not like too hot I can't eat it, but it has a different flavor profile.
Yeah. So. Well, mild I think is its own, and then the hot fire, those taste similar. And then I've never had the Diablo sauce, but
me neither. But I'm sure which we've done enough spice here on the channel and in general that
I don't think Diablo would be nothing compared to that.
That's when I took a spoonful of hot sauce. I was like, this cannot be as hot as that one chip. Like, there's no way. And when I started comparing things to the Death Nut Challenge, which I didn't finish the Death Nut Challenge, but the one chip, you have no choice. Once you ate the chip,
once you commit,
there's no going back.
Yeah, you can't quit.
I hate that it only lasted 2 minutes because I think to myself, what's the worst that it would have done for me to wait? But I don't know. When you're in the situation and you're eating it, the searing pain in my tongue and my mouth just tells me drink something, get it out. But the milk didn't. Looking back on it, the milk didn't.
I think it just hurts your stomach more than
because then we did the Canes versus Zaxby's the same day, and I was just like, I don't want to eat nothing. I don't want to do anything.
Yeah.
Like we were both zoned out for that, but it turned out great. Everybody really enjoyed the video, but I think people that know us could tell the personality wasn't the same.
Yeah, we were kind of foggy because.
Which we picked the worst place to film it too, because we were actually under where the airport they land. So there was a couple points when there was planes passing over.
Yeah, we had to
just wait until it was over. But I still get flack for the Canes versus Zaxby's even now. Like it's been several weeks after, and people still like, "Well, you think Canes is better on this or Zaxby's? Canes is better. Canes is better."
Yeah, a lot of people think Canes is better, and I'm like,
maybe it's not here. Maybe, but the people that are telling me are from people from Bowling Green, so. I don't know. I just didn't have the same experiences. But I've lived my entire life off Zaxby's as far as like chicken fast food goes. Like Zaxby's has always been the go-to place. There was one week, my great aunt Tinker was in the hospital, or my granny was in the hospital. One of the two. We were still in high school. Hunter and I had Zaxby's every night, 5 days in a row. By the 5th day, I told my grandfather anything but Zaxby's. Like, if you're going to get us something to eat, just not Zaxby's. The reason why is because the tobacco store which they worked at was right up the road from Zaxby's. So that was quick for him to get it after getting off work, which is fine. But 5 days was the max for me. I don't know how the guy from Super Size Me ate McDonald's for 30 days. To me, it blows my mind for somebody to eat that after like 5 days of Zaxby's. I was like, no, I'm done. But I didn't change my meal up any either. We just had the chicken tender platter 5 days
I guess
for dinner.
Maybe if you would have like switched it up a little, you might have been able to get through it. But yeah, I have to have some variety. You know,
even if it's from the same restaurant, if it's something else. But maybe we could do that. It's like a week challenge where we just same thing all week long. That'd be miserable. I feel like.
Yeah. And it'd be expensive.
Yeah. Zaxby's is. I mean, if you start living off Zaxby's, you're living a pretty good life, honestly, because it's not a cheap. It ain't cheap choice.
Which you do get a lot of food, but I mean, it's still not cheap. Like for 2 people, it's over $20.
Yeah, if you get a drink. I mean, when we went, it was what, $14?
Yeah, because we just got the platter, right?
No, I think it was 14 for Cane's, and then it was 18 for. Zaxby's.
Because we didn't get drinks at Zaxby's.
It was 18 even. I think. I'm pretty sure. Thinking on it, I'm pretty sure it was $4 difference. But
yeah, see, and we should have kept our receipt because we would have put that in the video as the money difference. But
note to self for next time, so we can really put it side by side. Now I want Zaxby's.
I don't, man. Honestly, like...
You burn out on it?
Well, it's not that I'm burning out on it, but, like, greasy food kind of messes up my stomach. And, like, Zaxby's is super greasy, you know.
See, when people see me, they think, big guy. He's probably, like, the sweet guy or, like, he drinks a lot of soda or something. Mine's greasy food. I love fast food. I could eat fast food all the time. I have for a lot of years. Like, it's just, my guilty pleasure is definitely fast food. Gabby gets mad at me all the time. We'll go to McDonald's. I could eat McDonald's pretty much every day, honestly, because when I worked at Save-A-Lot, it's right there in front of Save-A-Lot. A lot of times it was the cheapest option, so I just got McDonald's. And it would be like a McChicken or a McDouble or a nugget meal or like some kind of like combo. I would switch it up. She can eat McDonald's once and be done for like a month. And like, I don't want McDonald's ever again. It's just, if I have to eat McDonald's, I will. Me, I'm like, yeah, we can get McDonald's. We can get McDonald's again tomorrow. I think that's just from where I worked at Save-A-Lot all that time.
That's how I am with Taco Bell.
See, Taco Bell's always been out of the way for me. I've never...
It is kind of out of the way.
The locations in
where
Bowling Green.
Here.
Yeah. The one on Campbell Lane, or not Campbell Lane, the bypass sucks. Like the drive-through.
Oh, yeah, and it's so narrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And once you're in, you're in. So one time we pulled in, they were out of beef.
Oh.
They're like, we don't have beef. I'm like, okay, what do I do? You know, I can't back out. I can't.
This past weekend, I guess that was yesterday. I don't remember. Anyway, so me and Krista were like, all right, we're going to get some Taco Bell. You know, it's late at night. We just kind of want to get something quick because we were out doing stuff all day. I think Christmas shopping and whatnot. And we pulled into the drive-thru on the one on the bypass.
Yeah.
And we got up to the voice box, right? And it says card or can't accept card, cash only. And I was like, and the person says that over the intercom, and I was like, and then they're like, well, what can we get you? And I was like, well, I guess nothing, you know?
Yeah.
And then I proceeded to sit in that line for 30 minutes.
Yeah, just to get around. Yeah. There's no way out. That was the issue. So I had to reorder. And then when I got to the window, they didn't have beef. And it was going to be like a 15-minute wait or something. I was like, nah. So I just got chicken options, which I like the chicken chalupa. Mm-hmm. Super good. Like, I love it. No tomatoes, but with the sour cream.
When they had the quesarito, shredded chicken quesarito, that was fire, dude.
But anyway, so we got chicken options. And I get to the window, and instead of getting chicken on one of them that we normally get beef on, they had beef on it. So by the time I got to the window, which was not a 15-minute wait, it was like I was the next car in line. So we got it. It was fine. I was like, why did she tell us there was no beef? Because I would have got something different. At that time, I like the Gordita Crunches, man. I think that is the best option on the menu is the Gordita Crunch. I love the Crunch, which I've heard to get it with a Doritos taco shell. That's what I haven't tried it with that, but it's definitely an option I need to try at some point. But yeah, the Gordita Crunches are amazing. They have the little $5 box of Gordita Crunches. Yeah. That's my lunch a lot of days. Because I eat out of my car pretty much. Yeah. For work, I don't have a lunchbox or anything. I guess I could. I mean, I did back when I worked at Clark. I had a lunchbox. I would have like a PB&J and like some wheat thins with one of those like Laughing Cow cheese things. That was just what I had for lunch every day. I got burnt out on it, but now I usually just stop at a restaurant for lunch, or I get something from the store. It's just to hold me over.
Mm-hmm. I pack my lunch every day. I have like a big cooler.
Which you kind of have to, don't you? Like,
yeah,
because it's been on your route.
Yeah, you don't know where you're going to be at when because you kind of, or at least how I do it is I make it up as I go. So I try to take lunch around the same time every day, so between 12:30 and 1:30. And it just depends on where I'm at, where I can find like a good place to stop. Because if you're in like a super dense neighborhood where there's like a driveway every like 20 feet, you can't just stop on the side of the road and, you know, start your lunch there because you're blocking somebody's driveway probably.
Right.
But... and then if you're delivering on a major highway, you can't stop there because, you know, it's too much traffic. So I try to like either get into like a neighborhood that's like kind of spread out, or in a really country road, and then just pull off to the side of the road and eat lunch. But
I see a lot of the guys in town, they stop at restaurants and stuff. They'll have to park somewhere on the side or whatever.
Yeah, like when I was delivering in town, I would stop at a gas station and I would eat there.
Yeah. Gas stations got some good food. Like working with the truck drivers with Pepsi, I mean, that's pretty much all we had is you go to gas stations. So you stop at the Minimart, you get something over there for breakfast, and you stop for lunch or something at an IGA or a Shell station. You just
IGAs are...
Schlossky's, I think is how you pronounce it, in Smiths Grove. Amazing breakfast tacos. They have breakfast tacos there.
What?
So good. Yeah. They're just soft shell tacos with pico de gallo and your choice of meat. You can get like breakfast meat, so bacon or sausage. Or I think they had ham too. I got sausage, but so good. And then eggs as well.
Okay.
But they got great tacos.
Well, I was going to say, like the IGA's, the Derby's breakfast roll, dude.
See, I don't like Derby's. I love Minute Marts though.
Really?
Like Minute Marts pizza roll, I think is better. Depending on which one you go to, they are different.
Well, I'm saying the breakfast roll.
Oh, I haven't tried.
So like, it's got like gravy and eggs. And
okay, yeah. I thought you meant the breakfast
pizza roll is whatever, but
yeah, the breakfast pizza is pretty good. Now, chicken. I feel like I'm chicken strip like. What is it, professional as far as it comes to gas stations? Like I've probably had every gas station chicken strip, even from like the Indian stores. People are like, how do you get stuff from here? Man, they got that Chester's chicken, I think is what it's called, the batter or whatever they use. So good, and a lot of them are really nice. They'll give you like a little bit extra. If they've been sitting there for a little bit longer, they're like, "What do you want, an extra one?" Yeah, sure, sign me up.
Throw it in there.
Yeah, and some of the places that. Like even the little T-Marts and stuff, they've got good chicken. But that's all I ate when we were on the trucks. It's like you grab something real quick and you're on to the next store. You didn't have no in between time to pick something or go somewhere.
Yeah, if I get a second in town, or like if I have to fill up in the mornings before I go and start my day, I'll grab like a drink and some snacks from the gas station.
Yeah.
And that'll kind of give me some, because I pack like a really light lunch. I pack like a sandwich, a honey bun, a fruit bar, and then that's it. Yeah. And that's just my.
Which, if you're moving like you are the other day, you don't want something heavy. Because like even with me, I don't eat a big meal for lunch because I ain't worth anything after I eat. As far as like trying to work.
If I eat anything like that's gonna make me full, dude,
There's no way I could sling drinks after eating a big meal.
I can't grab a whole mattress and throw it on my shoulder and walk up to this
I made
house,
the big mistake when I first started at Clark because I went from working at Save Lot, eating whatever I wanted, and then just, managing a store to moving 10-hour days, 30,000 steps. Like, it was all movement. First day, I go to Zaxby's with the guy that's training me, and I get a 6-finger plate and a large drink. Man, by the time we got back to Walmart, which is where we were working, I was like, thank God it didn't look bad because there's 2 of us working. And of course I knew what I was doing for the most part. Like you fill, rotate, face. Like that's all you have to do. It's an easy job. And we got back and he's like, well, it looks pretty good. I'm thinking in my head, thank God. Because if I had to bend over and move as much as I did this morning, I'm going to throw up. There's no way I could do what I did this morning. My first 2 weeks there though, man, I felt like they would ask her like, how you feel? Or going all right? I was honest with them. I was like, I'm so sore. I hurt so bad all over. My back hurts, my legs hurt, my arms hurt, my head hurts from thinking too much because I'm overthinking everything I'm feeling.
Yeah.
And they just would laugh at me. But I'm super happy with the experience because, like I said, I dropped 60 pounds. I'm healthier now. Like, we go and do something. I don't get winded. I don't feel out of shape. I mean, yeah, I'm heavy, but I can do a lot of things that me beforehand.
Even that guys your size, normally can't do. So.
I mean, 360 pounds, 370 pounds, wherever I'm fluctuating at. Most people that size do not get up and move that many steps in a day. So I'm happy with my weight, and as long as I'm healthy, that's what matters to me. I don't care if I'm ripped or skinny or anything like that, as long as I'm taking care of myself. So like here recently, I cut out sodas again, just from being at Pepsi. Like, well, I got to try all these new things I got. Well, I was hooked back on Mountain Dew, for sure. I was like drinking a ton of Mountain Dew and the different flavors that come out. I still try them, but I haven't here in the past week. I've literally cut out sodas this week. Yeah. Literally the first day I cut out sodas, I weighed the next morning and I was 6 pounds lighter. I don't know. It couldn't be just the sodas, but I was also watching what I ate that day too. So I think my weight was just fluctuating. But I feel better now. I still drink the energy drinks that are zero sugar.
Mm-hmm.
The Rockstar Zero Sugars are really good. I do drink the Kickstarts if I want a soda-like thing. It's got less caffeine than a soda. It still has sugar in it, though. So.
The Kickstart?
Mm-hmm.
I thought the Kickstart had more caffeine.
No, less. Yeah, if you check the back of, they actually have less caffeine than the like a Mountain Dew. Because Gabby, I had one left over from the streams, from streaming on my channel, and she was like, "Why are you drinking that tonight for dinner?" She's like, "This energy drink." I'm like, "No, it's a Kickstart." I was like, "I don't think it has." I said it might have a little bit more caffeine than the Mountain Dew. I checked the Mountain Dew, and it said like 200 something milligrams of caffeine, and the Kickstart was like 96 milligrams. I was like, "Never mind, I'm doing better actually drinking this than." So.
That's crazy. I was pretty sure they were energy drinks, but
no, see, that's why they're in the soda section instead of the energy drink section. They don't have
sense.
the balance of what is considered an energy drink.
Yeah.
So, I mean, 300 milligrams of caffeine is what's in the
bangs,
Reigns. So, I mean, 200 something for Mountain Dew. I mean, Jesus. I didn't realize there was that much caffeine in.
I didn't either.
But it doesn't have it on like the nutritional stamp. Like everything else, caffeine's down at the bottom, like in the little thin writing. I'm like, why is this not labeled up here? Like, you should be keeping up with your caffeine intake, I feel like.
Yeah. Because you don't, I mean, so what I try to do is I don't try to have any caffeine after midday.
Mm-hmm.
So,
it don't
and
bother
that helps me sleep.
But I think it's because I drink so much. When I was at Save-A-Lot, I would drink 3 Monsters a day. I know that's awful. You know, like, that's bad for you. I quit drinking, and at that time, I was struggling with it. So I went to energy drinks, and then after I thought about it, I'm like, hell, I've been better off drinking.
Yeah, right.
3 Monsters a day. Like,
yeah,
people are like, that's
right
nuts.
your insides, dude. You know, and that's the thing with Monsters is like Red Bulls and stuff. That's one thing, but like Monsters, when you drink those, you can feel it. You know?
Oh yeah, they make me feel bad now. I don't drink them anymore since I left Clark in general. But like even before then, I switched to Reign because the Monsters, I just felt gross after I drank it. I didn't feel productive, so I got rid of those. I felt a lot better.
Yeah, those performance energy drinks, though, like the Reign and the Bang and stuff like that.
But I could drink a Bang and go to bed. It
Really?
don't like I think I've burnt myself out on the caffeine intake or whatever. But I could literally drink one and turn around and go to bed right after. There's no bothering me. I drink them in the morning, but I think it's more of a mental thing. Mm-hmm. I'm thinking like, oh, I'm drinking this, so I'm wide awake now. But I don't think it really honestly does that much for me in the long term of things.
For me, it does.
I don't crash after Bang though. Some of the energy drinks, if you drink.
Yeah, Bang and Reign, I never crashed afterwards. I will say, when I started doing, I had to get up early in the morning to load the trucks when I was working the preload. Mm-hmm. It was really hard for me because my body's so used to having that caffeine intake in the morning. When I was in the military, because every morning, I'm telling you, every morning, get a Red Bull, drink it. You know, so that when I would wake up, I would feel kind of cognitively foggy, and I would need that caffeine to kind of clear it out.
That's what I do. Yeah, I have a Zero Rockstar every morning at work. That's just my mindset. And then when I stream, I have a caffeine drink, so like a Rockstar Zero, and I switch to either water or now. I used to switch to Mountain Dew or something. Now I've switched to either water or Gatorade Zero, something that doesn't have the caffeine in it.
I try not to drink energy drinks during the week because it makes you have, or like those sodas and stuff make you have to pee real bad, and I cannot afford to be peeing all the time.
Well, that's my first thing is I'll buy one, my first pallet usually when I get to my Kroger, and then by the end of that first pallet, I'm like, yep, I'm gonna have to go to the bathroom. Like it hits me like instantly almost, which I think it's a morning thing too.
Yeah.
But we're getting up close to an hour of rough edit time, so I think we're gonna call it there, and get back up to 2 weeks from now. We've been on a pretty decent schedule right now, and a decent schedule for ourselves to film weekly. So right now it's still just going to be Bro Down podcasts. We're still, I don't think either one of us are willing to do anything before the holiday season is over. I think we want to both hold off on anything, especially with you wanting to get the house, so and get that set up, which we could talk about in the next podcast instead of getting into it this one. As far as maybe we're going to take that a little bit, but I think that's going to do it for us. Hope you guys enjoyed the podcast this week. We enjoyed talking to you guys. In the comments down below, definitely let us know anything we talked about. Keep the discussion going with us in the comments.
What's your favorite energy drink? What was it like buying your first house, or what kind of questions do you have about buying a house, or
tips for William for buying a house? Maybe things he should keep an eye out for. other than gutters and refrigerators.
Yeah. So I guess the next episode this one will air this Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
So the next episode will come out after Christmas, so we want to wish you a Merry Christmas.
Oh, it is, ain't it? Yeah. Oh, I didn't even think about it. We didn't even talk about any of that. Well, we'll talk about it after because it's going to be in the middle of Christmas and New Year's.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we'll definitely make that a Christmas special, I guess.
I guess it'll be right after New Year's, then, wouldn't it? That it would come out.
I don't know. I had to check my phone. To be honest with you.
But yeah, so have a good Christmas holiday. However you celebrate it.
It is. It'll be the second.
We'll
So this is the last one of the year? Oh no. We didn't do anything. Well, we will on the second, most likely. I mean, we'll still be coming down from...
We'll celebrate the new year with you. How about that?
I mean, who wants to celebrate 2020 anyway, to be honest with you?
We're just going to lock the key on this year and sneak out the back door. You know what I mean?
It wouldn't be 2020 without realizing this was the last podcast of the year until...
At the end of the podcast.
At the end of the podcast.
So, thank you guys again for watching. Like you said, keep the conversation going. Stay tuned for the next Bro Down that'll be coming out next week.
Yep.
And thank you guys.
See y'all in the next one.